Hi, everyone. So today, for today's session, we are actually going to be doing collage work. I've been wanting to do collage work for a long, long time, and I wasn't quite settling on, what I should be doing. So here I am. So today I figured out something that I enjoy and I like. So the plan here is that we're going to be creating collage papers very quickly, and I'll show you how I'll be doing it. And then I did a rough sketch. This is my sketchbook, and this is something. I'm using an old backside. So the idea is to have abstract type of leaves like a tree, a colorful tree. It's nothing going to be realistic. So I am going to use contrasting colors, and I'm going to put in some textures which are which create like depth, that I like textures. So which is kind of nice. And that is what I enjoy. And that's exactly what I will be doing today. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so this is the sketch like I showed you. Then what I did was I looked up into my stash of papers that I have, and I'll show you here in a minute as to how, I have this paper over here. So this is just a collection that I've had for like literally years. So I think this came from a wedding card, I believe. I can't remember. This is some scrapbooking paper that I have that I'll be using. Again, this is wrapping paper. This is also wrapping paper. And then I have this cardstock paper in like, different colors. So that's what we will be using. And I will be creating some textures on this paper. Here, this is some pastel assorted colors. I'm not sure if I'll be using this because this is a little thick, this paper. But I like the texture. There's some texture over here. When I touch it, I can see some texture on this. So I might use this. Okay, so with that being said, let us get started. Now, what I want to try to do is to have a black background, or maybe I'll start with making it on white because white is like, it's neutral. So you start on white, and then later on, we can change the background if we want to. So I have my white paper here, and I have my sketch here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut paper. I'm not sure why this is hazy. Okay, there we go. So we have it back now. So this is the tree bark. So I'm going to be cutting the paper, and I'm going to be very, very rough when I cut the paper. And my plan is to have the bark in this paper. Okay. So I'll just keep this handy with me, and I'll just take my pencil and I will just draw curved lines, very rough curved lines. Okay. So just so that I have something to work on. I'm trying to get this center piece over here. I'm not tracing it, so I'm just going. And then I'll also create these as well. So this one goes on the side. Actually, there's not much room, so I'll have to move it to here. I'm just going to erase it and move it, or we can do that later. I'll make it here separately. this, and I'll make another one here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of, okay. So there's 3 facing this side. So I'm just going to do another one which is facing this side, like probably a thinner one. And then another one can go here, probably on here if we have enough space. So it's just so that it's easy for the placement. Then there's going to be one on this side. Then there's going to be another one. And we'll cut each of them separately. And then there's another one which goes sort of here. Okay. Okay. Let me grab my scissor and we'll start cutting them. And you don't have to be very fine. You can just be very rough in cutting it because we'll be doing some embellishments on the top. Got one. The other one. The main stem we have. And then we have the other branch. So let me get these out of the way. All right. So we got all the branches cut up. No, these on the side. And if you want to make more branches, we can always do that later on. Okay, so we have that. And then we have these elements. This is the branch, you can say flowers or leaves, whatever. So it is a really whimsical folk arty type of tree that we are doing. So I'm going to put this on the side because I do want to decide what base I want to use. So the reason I picked white was to show you how it will look. So because I'm using this paper, and if I assume that I'm putting the branches maybe something like this here. This one goes here. So I'm sort of arranging them, and I'm trying to visualize how the tree is going to look on white paper. And I'm not sure if you like it. I am kind of finding it to be really dull, so I have a good mind actually to change it to the black base, and we'll try that as well. So these are we will we'll fix all this here. So if you take a look at this, so I'm not sure. So you see here the way it is looking on the white, and now I'm going to try the same thing on black. Exact same thing. I'm going to take my black background. I'm going to place it here. So I'm going to place the elements now. Something like this here. This goes like here. Okay, so assuming that this is the thing. So what do you think? So maybe you can put in the comment in the chat box and tell me. So I personally like this more because there's a nice contrast and there's also a bit of coordination, or let's say it's blending really nicely. The gold is really shining. It's really coming out nicely on the black base. And the white is also good contrast. And with the the black leaves and flowers, it's really a nice balance over there. So there's a good chance that I will actually make my collage on the black paper. And then there's going to be colors that are going to be over here, and that is what we will do. I'm going to go ahead and start, putting some glue and sticking all the tree over here. So I'm going to start with the center, with the bark. Just take some glue. You can use a glue stick if you want. If that is more convenient for you, you can do the glue stick. And I'm just eyeballing. I'm not measuring. I'm not doing. Okay. See, this area is left. So I'm just going to put some glue there. Okay. So now I want to put this one here. I'm just trying to see where we can put the other branches, just so that I know Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now there's one more. Okay, I think that looks good. I like the look. So we'll start gluing these also down. If you're following along with me, just let me know where you're tuning in from and what kind of art that you do most often. Do you do collage? Have you done it collage? What is your form? What is something that you really enjoy? It would be kind of nice to know all of you. Me personally, I do a lot of mixed media. Mixed media is something that really excites me. It is something that I'm going to say I thrive on because I like the variety. I get bored very quickly with just one medium. Like, some people are so good with watercolor or acrylic or whatever the medium of choice they have. And they can just stick to that and just be very happy. Well, that's not me. It doesn't work for me. So I like the variety. I like the texture. I am a big fan of textures in my work. And I'll do literally anything to bring in any kind of texture in the work that I do. So that's just me. I think this went a little bit too much on the top. I'm going to remove it and move it a little bit at the bottom. Everything will get covered up, so no worries over there. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I think we have all the branches. I'm now feeling like I could probably have one more branch over here. So I'm just going to go quickly here and just going to cut. So this branch has to go this way. Okay. That evens out everything there. That fills up the open space. And that is the beauty of collage, right? That you can wing it or play. I mean, you need to have a basic plan. It's always good to have a plan, but you can definitely also play it by the ear and really add elements as you go. Okay, there we are. So there we have our, okay, this one got left out. There we go. So here we have the skeleton of the tree very ready here. So we can put this aside and then we'll start making the element, the flowers, leaves, whatever we want to put in between. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. Okay, and I'm going to just clean this area a little bit. And so I have this blade, which helps me really clean up fairly quickly because it's all dried up. So it's really helpful. Okay, so now we're all cleaned up. Now, what we have to decide is what are the colors that we are going to be putting on our tree. So deciding really the color palette. So when deciding the color palette, uh, when I started painting, doing some crafting, I used to go for any color, whatever is coming to my mind, whatever. There was no planning. And obviously it always ended up in a disaster. So, but now with over a period of time, I've understood the importance of having a color palette. And if you are watching, it would be nice if even you start thinking in that way as well, that having a color palette is always, always a good idea. That is going to be really helpful for you in creating a good product, something that you're happy about. So I'm going to be restricting myself with about 4 to 5 colors at the most. Okay, so one of them will be red because black and red, and you can see there's a little bit of dark, blackish kind of a vintage kind of feel in there. So we'll be putting in some of this. I did pull out this over here, but I don't think that I'll be using it because this black is really merging with the black base. So I'm going to put this away. And then obviously I have the other colors that I had shown you before, like these ones. Okay, so black is the base. So we'll see, maybe we can put some embellishments on the black probably. So I'll keep one sheet out. Then I'm not too sure of the white. I don't think I want to use white. It's not giving me a good feel on this. So I'll get the white out. I think the pink is nice. The pink will look good. So I'll keep one sheet out. And then there is this is like a lighter pink. This is more almost like red. So I think red, this kind of red. I'm not so sure because we already have this. So, okay, we'll keep it and then we'll decide later on. Okay. And then the purple on the black. Let's see. Let's see how it looks. I feel like it's going to look dull. No, I don't like the purple. It's not purple, it's like mauve-ish kind of a thing. I do like the lime green. I think that's gonna look really nice and bright. So we'll keep the lime green out. And I have all these scraps. So the scraps, never throw your scraps. Something that I have learned, never throw your scraps. They are always very helpful. Okay, that's lime green. And then this is the gray. It's gray, and I think I like the gray. This is better than the white. So we'll use this. Okay. And of course, this is the white and the mauve. So we got the pink. So we got the light pink. So there's a lot of pink that I have. So this is also another shade of pink. So we have these three. So we have this, this, and this. So we can keep it and decide later on. Okay. Get this out. And even these ones out. So these are also the pinks. So we get those out. Okay. So we have these colors with us. So it's three shades like the pinkish. There's a little bit of a gray and the lime green and then the black as well. So I think, and a little bit, I don't have much of this paper. So this is kind of, we'll do this one as well a little bit. Okay, and then with this black on black is going to look pretty odd, I feel like. So let's get that out. Now, I feel like there should be a little bit of blue kind of a thing, like in this pastel thing over here. I hope there's a blue. Yes, there is. So there is this blue shade over here. I would have liked it to be a bit brighter. That would be kind of nice, but maybe we can add dark, we can embellish this with, we can add some, color and textures, which is dark blue. Okay. So I have all this ready here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one sheet at a time, except this one, because this is already, there's a lot of texture in this anyways. So put this aside. So I have my Posca markers over here, the acrylic markers. And then I also have, these are also acrylic paint markers. The colors are a little different in this as compared to the Posca markers. So I'll be using these to, give it some nice texture and colors. So that's what we'll do. So I'm going to start with the blue. I'm going to start with the blue. And on this, I will probably use, let's see here, have this nice color to shake it up. And I need some, rough paper there. So just to activate so I have this here, okay? So I'm going to start doing some, maybe some designs on this. Again, this is just very random stuff. I am not overthinking it. think maybe I'll do a little bit more because we will be cutting these out. I'm being very rough. I'm not being very fine in whatever I'm doing. I mean, you can be as fine as you want. Got that. And then I'm going to take like a bright pink. Okay. And here, I am just going to give it a little bit of a gap here, and I'm just going to be putting just dots. And so the last row. So we got that. So this one is, we put it aside. And now on the lime green one, I feel like I'm going to use purple. So you see, I am adding more and more color. So even though we have the color palette with these papers, but I'm adding more color when I am embellishing them. I think we got this. And then I think I'm going to do for this one, I think I want to do like squiggly lines. Okay, and then we'll change the color. Now this one, let's do blue. Okay, so for this one, let's see what we want to do. We can do just like squares or rectangles. Again, all of them can be different sizes. I'm really enjoying the process. So when you are making art, make sure you enjoy the process. The process is always much more interesting than the destination, because when you reach the destination, it's over, right? And when it's over, the fun is short-lived. But when you're enjoying the process, it's just such a lot of fun. And over here, I am going to probably do something like this. Okay, we got this. All right, so now let's go to the reds. So in this one, maybe I want to add some black. And let me see if I have some other color in this one. So there's a dark brown, which I will use on the other ones. This is similar to the one we had used before, but I'll keep it outside just in case we need more of that color. So I want to make sure that we have that color available for us. Yeah, I think I'll do black on this one. So here, what we are going to do is we'll do sort of like raindrops, this kind. Okay. Then we'll do another one. Think we'll do probably, let's see what colors we have here. We can do some kind of a green, this one. Okay, so here I'm going to do contours like this. Okay, we got that. And then let's move to the other color. This one here. This one I do want to do again a blue. And where is my blue? I'll use a different shade of blue here. And here we will just do like zigzag. Okay. So something else over here that we can do probably. Um, let's see, what colors do we have? This is sort of golden. Let's see if it shows up here. I think I have not used this. So I'm going to have to activate the color. Sometimes it takes a bit longer for the color to come out. It's not working, so we'll change the colors. I'll put this aside. And this is another metallic one. This is silver. So let's see if this one works. Okay, I think I can see the color coming. Okay, there we go. You can see that. So for this one, what I want to do is I want to do some, let's say, some lines like this and some dots in there. Okay, so we got that. And then we've already done the lime green, so I'm going to get this out of the way. So we have this pink, light pink. Okay, so for this one, I feel like we can probably, because this is a little bit of a pastel, so I'm going to be using, okay, not sure what happened there. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to be using this kind of color. Like this is also a pastel kind of a color. I think it will look pretty. This one we'll do something like sort of bigger drop sizes, or not circles. Oh, we haven't done circles, so we'll do circles as well. And then inside it, we'll just do so when we are making these are also going to be helpful for us when we are cutting them. So these can be cut as individual shapes. Okay, so we have this. And then we want to do one more, which I think I'm going to use a darker blue. So for this one, I'm going to do something like okay, like that. And finally, we have the light gray. In this one, I think I will be using black here again. So for the black, we can do something like a kind of a scalloped design. So I'm not getting carried away with, oh, that my drawings need to be perfect. No, I'm really having fun with this. Okay, and we'll do one more. You really want to try that gold one again. see if this one works. Okay, it's working. Maybe it just needed some time. Okay, so for the gold, what am I going to do? Okay, how about we make some stars? If you can see, yeah, there. Okay, so we got the stars, and I think we are pretty set up for the next step. I'm going to put my colors aside, and we'll get to them if we need them again. So I have the colors that we used, they're right here. Here. Okay, so now we have all these done. We have all these done here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scissor and I'm going to start cutting out like just random shapes. Now remember, our tree is, this is the tree. So all these shapes are going to go here in different random pieces. And I'll show you in just a minute. And then we forgot the gold here as well. So I'm just going to start on the red one too. So I'm going to start cutting in, random. I mean, you can definitely draw the shapes if you want, but I'm going to challenge you to not to draw the shapes. So make sure that you like it. So you want to make sure that these shapes, they fit here. So you can keep checking on and off in between that whether your shape is good, is big enough to fit here. Okay. So you can keep cutting. You can, and again, I am not drawing anything. I am literally just taking it in the stride. Whatever shape is coming to my mind, I am making sure. Now, I don't want to cut too small just because I want to make sure that the, I have big enough. So if when it is bigger, you can make it smaller, but when it's smaller, you cannot make it bigger. So I'm just trying to place them in different places just so that I know that, where my design is going towards. Maybe I'll do one or two more here because we have lots of other paper to also cut. So you can turn on some music and literally just have fun. I think I'm good with these four. I'll put it aside. If I need more, I can cut more. So now let's go to this blue one. So I'm just for easy cutting, I am just going to cut and separate these two. And I'll just cut some shapes with this as well. See, it's already beginning to take shape. It's just so some of you might say, you know what, why not we first cut these shapes and then just draw on it. The fun, the organic feel then goes away because here when you're cutting in between lines, it gives a completely different finish. So it just works. I mean, I feel that looks much better, but of course, everyone has different choices. So you can do whatever you want. So your tree will begin to build slowly, slowly. Okay, and now these scraps, I will never throw. I never throw anything because this will be of, it'll help me for some other projects. So I also have the scrap as well, and I'm not going to throw this as well. So I'm putting all my scraps on the side. I feel like there's a lot of pink, so I'm not going to cut more. So I'm going to move on to my reds here. So you see we have these shapes. So I'm going to cut out a few of these shapes just as they are. So that's another variation of this style. We have that. Now let's get the green. You can see that the whole tree is really coming together nicely. So I'm trying to cut some pieces which are smaller because most of the pieces we had cut before were bigger. Okay, so in the interest of time, so I'll continue to cut all my pieces, and I will continue to fill up my entire tree. And once I've cut up everything in the second part of this video, I will show you what I do once I have all the cutouts, everything done, and how we can even brighten it up even more. Okay, so this is all for today, and then stay tuned for part 2 of this video. Thanks so much for joining, and consider subscribing to my channel because I do upload videos on regular basis. Not as regular as I would like to because time is a big constraint sometimes. But definitely I try my very best to come up with some, new interesting projects. And yeah, another thing is that there is the mixed media wellness workshop coming up next week, starting on Monday, that is June the 16th. And I'll put the link in the description below, and I would love you to join me and the others as well. So it would be lovely to create some art together. Okay, until then, stay well, and we will be in touch. Take care.